Hey, it's Don, the Auction Professor here. I'm going to talk about retail arbitrage today because this time of year is when we make the most money doing it. A lot of people just don't understand the philosophy with retail arbitrage. They're afraid of getting stuck. Again, we do it, but I only do it certain times a year because the items move so much quicker and it's an immediate result on it. You're not waiting for the stuff to sell. Part of the reason why what we do actually works is the same reason that retail arbitrage works. Basically, people don't source the items. They'll see it online, they'll see it on Amazon, and they'll just buy it because they want it. They can't find it locally. They're not interested in hunting for it. So they'll just pay a lot more than it's actually worth, or that they could get it for new. This year there was some hot items, the Monopoly board, that a lot of people were talking about. There's many YouTubers that made a ton of money doing it. Unfortunately, around us, we didn't have that opportunity. I have found other items that we've done quite a bit of money on. For us, Legos this year were our biggest retail arbitrage. We were able to get them at some of the secondary stores like Ross or Burlington Coat Factory, TG Maxx. A lot of the smaller stores, you have the ability to get them. As long as you're ungated on Amazon, FBA them, boom, you've got some instant returns before you even leave the store. We've sold many of them still while we were shopping in the store, believe it or not. Just depends on how hot the item is and how quickly it will sell. Most of that type of stuff is going to go on eBay exclusively. But again, this all works because people just don't take the time or the effort. What we do works for the same reason. All the antiques and collectibles that I sell, I usually mark them higher than most other people do. And again, I do sell a ton of them much higher than anybody else does in many cases because of this. They don't check comps. They don't research the items. They just see what they see in my store. They like it. Spur of the moment shopping. They'll make an offer based on what my opening offer is. And boom, I've sold it for more than most people. Again, it depends on the item. Many items I don't do that for because the market won't allow you to do that. That is why retail arbitrage works, because you can flow with the market. If there's a big demand for something, they can't find it locally, or it's not available in some parts of the country, you can really rake out. It's a niche. It's something you have to understand. When you're buying the items at a store, as long as you're able to, some stores are stopping you these days, but you're saving the receipt, and what you don't sell, you can actually bring back to the store as long as it's within their time frame. Many stores have a 30, 60, or 90-day return policy, so that is something you will actually have to watch out and look into as well. So if it's sitting at FBA for a while, you're past your deadline, you could get stuck with it. But there are other thoughts on this. Let's say you sold enough to make a huge profit and you still have a couple dozen at Amazon. I personally would let them ride. So if I have to trash them, no big deal. I've gotten all my money back and made a big profit on those items. And who knows, I may still sell some more as well too. But that is just a touch on retail arbitrage. I'm not going to holler out what we actually do or give you the specifics because, again, if I do, there's so much competition doing retail arbitrage. I'm giving you Legos. That's the one that we scored on. It's a little late now in the season to be getting Legos, but that's one of the areas that I always look for at those specific places, whether it be Ross, TG Maxx, or Burlington Coat Factory in their toy section. That's usually where I can find it. Target's pretty good as well too, but again, Target's busting down on people buying multiple items. You're going to see some changes on receipts when you're buying multiple items where they don't have to take them back, and things along that line are coming down the train. Just like drop shipping is going to be harder and harder to do. It's just going to kill your account where you won't be able to do it in the first place, the first issue you have. So again, and this works because, again, you have to know what you're doing. You have to know the right items, and you have to count on the fact that a lot of people just aren't doing their homework and researching the items before they buy them at a much higher price than they could get them from somewhere else. So anyway, that's just a touch on retail arbitrage. I always do it during Christmas. It's always the best time to do it. It's always the quickest return on your investment. You're probably late in the game if you're doing it now, but there are still some deals to be had. Well, that's what I have for you today. Hopefully that gave you some thoughts and some ideas on retail arbitrage. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified when I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell a friend.